Hello everyone, happy to see you here, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a really interesting algebra question. You can easily see this question in the middle of the screen here. We have 2 plus 2 divided by 2 and inside parentheses we have 1 plus 1. So here is the main question, what is the correct answer to this question? Because a lot of students might be saying, hey mister, this is like the easiest question I ever seen. We can easily solve this question in a few seconds. So right now, let's pause the video and write your solution and your option down into the comment section. It will be really interesting to see your solution in the comment section, and then of course we will check our answer, so it will be really interesting. So right here's our question. Right here we have 3 options. We have option A, option B, and option C. We have 2, 4, and 6, so you can easily test your school knowledge, and your age doesn't matter right here. Everyone can easily test our school knowledge. It will be really interesting. So first of all, what makes all the difference in the world is the order we do this problem. For example, there is one student and he said, okay, right here we need to go from left to right. We have 2 plus 2 on the left side. We have 4. We still have this division by 2, so we rewrite this expression, division by 2, and 1 plus 1, so we have 4 divided by 2 equal to 2, and we have inside parentheses we have 2, so as a result we have 4. So a lot of students may be saying, okay, let's go from left to right and don't care about order of operation, we just need to go from left to right, addition, division, then parentheses, and they say correct answer is 4. We can easily see this answer right here. But here's maybe the main question, because in terms of math we can't solve our question randomly. We can't do whatever we want, because right here we just added first, then we divided for second step, then we add inside parentheses, and fourth step we will multiply it. So as you can see, completely chaotic order. We just do whatever we want. In terms of math, it's really great to know about order of operation, because we can't solve a question wherever we want. We need to know about a correct order, correct concept, correct algorithm. How can we solve this question? And then after this concept, we can easily say, okay, this is a correct answer. What I mean correct concept? This is our algebraic expression, and you know, all algebraic expression we can easily solve with order of operation, and then we can easily say, okay, this is a correct answer. And what I mean order of operation, everyone know about this order of operation, like addition, about subtraction, about these mathematical operators. Yeah, more people know about multiplication, division, and maybe people know about powers, people know about parentheses, about inner parentheses. Yeah, sometimes happen. Yeah, and you know, we need to order all of this stuff. We need to know what is the correct order to perform these mathematical operators. And right now I'm going to show you about the correct order of operation. Let's look closely at this order of operation. This order of operation is called PEMDAS order of operation, but maybe some people heard about this BODMAS order of operation, but to be honest, this is absolutely the same thing. And there is not like an English word. This is a quick checklist of each of these letters stands for something. For example, I'm going to start from left side to right side, because on the left side we have higher priority mathematical operator, and on the right side we have the lower priority mathematical operator. So what I mean higher and lower priority? First of all, we need to evaluate the expression which includes parentheses. For example, because P stands for parentheses, we are talking about this type of brackets. We are talking about this type of brackets. You know, sometimes happen that people use these type of brackets or these type of brackets. Yeah, we're talking about group and symbols. So first step is to evaluate the expression inside parentheses. So first we need to find parentheses. After parentheses, we move forward to the next step. The next step is E. E stands for exponents, and we are talking about, for example, 2 to the power 3. We are talking about 5 to the power 5. So we're talking about these powers. Yeah, we're talking about the thing. Okay, don't be scared about it. This is basic power. So for example, we have right here 2 to the power 3. We need to raise these after parentheses. Okay. Okay, the next step is multiplication and division. Okay, why I mention it at once? Because this is one common group. A lot of students forget about it, and they say, okay, multiplication, division, so M comes first from left to right, so we need to perform it in a strict order from left to right, so it means multiplication is the first step from left to right, okay? But in the same way, multiplication and division had the same priority, so we need to mention it as one common group. So multiplication and division mathematical operator are tied for priority or importance. So if you had a problem that had both multiplication and division, for example, let's look at it, so 2 times 3 divided by 4th or something like that. So if you had a problem that had both multiplication and division, then you're supposed to work it from left to right order, okay? That's because in some cases you can get a different answer if you go from right to left, basically. Yeah, we need to go from left to right. So if you go from right to left, you can get a different answer if you go for example, from right to left. So if you work it from left to right, this is a correct order. And in this case, for example, 2 times 3 divided by 4, we need to scan what is the first sign. What is the first sign from left to right? The first sign from left to right in this case it's multiplication, so we need to multiply at first. But when we have, for example, 2 divided by 4 and times 3, we need to divide it first, because this is the first mathematical operator which comes from left to right. And forget about this right to left order. We are talking about left to right, not right to left, but left to right. So whenever you have a problem that had a mixture of multiplication and division, so whenever you have a problem with a mixture of it, or addition subtraction, to be honest, because A stands for addition, S stands for subtraction, this is both really important groups, but more complicated group is multiplication and division. So whenever you have a problem that had a mixture of multiplication and division, or mixture of addition and subtraction, you know, to do the operation in order from left to right. So it was a quick research about this PEMDAS order of operation. So right now, let's apply this order of operation to our question. We know everything. We made quick research about it. We know everything about this letter. So what this letter stands for, yeah? So right now, let's apply this order of operation to our question. So I don't want to write this PEMDAS real quick once more. I don't want to do this because we're talking about the same PEMDAS. So let's look closely on this right side, okay? And with this quick details, it's much faster for us to solve this question. Okay, let's look closely. What do we have? We have a complicated algebraic expression because it's not the basic thing. It's not only 2 plus 2. We have in this case, we have addition, division, we have multiplication, we have parentheses. So right now we need to order all of this stuff. And let's do this because inside parentheses, inside PEMDAS, according to PEMDAS, we need to scan it in the strict order from left to right. The first thing which comes from left to right is parentheses. And let's scan where do we have parentheses. Let's look at it. So parentheses we have right here. We don't have any of those right here, and we don't have any brackets. We don't have any this type of parentheses. We have the basic one, okay? So in our case, let's use this step. So the first step is to evaluate the expression inside parentheses. Let's complete it. Let's change my pen real quick. And so I wanted to underline it with the red color real quick, that we have it. We have parentheses. It's not like red, but doesn't matter. Okay, I use, for example, let's use red color. Oh yeah, we have green. Yeah, so it's great. We have parentheses. So let's evaluate the expression inside parentheses. So right here we have 2 inside parentheses, and you know, a correct way to write it is to hold this, to leave this parentheses like that, because we still have it. Okay, so we have 2 plus 2 divided by 2, and we still have these parentheses. And right now, really tricky thing, because yeah, we solve it, okay, and right now let's go to the next step. The next step after parentheses is exponent, okay? Is exponent. Let's scan where do we have it. Maybe we have 2 to the power 3, 5 to the power 5, or something like that when we have powers. I don't see any of those. We don't have any of those, so we can easily skip this part. So we don't have exponent, so we can easily skip this part. And right now the most tricky thing, because the next part to make a quick research is multiplication and division part, and I want to write it as a group. So right now we need to scan where do we have multiplication and division sign. I took it at once. I took it as a group because we don't prefer like a higher priority multiplication which has the higher priority, or division. I'm talking about one common group. And right now let's underline where do we have multiplication division part, multiplication division mixture. Okay, let's do this. So division we have right here. We're interested in this, and right now we're a tricky moment because a lot of students don't understand what does this mean. Like 2, we have parentheses, we don't have multiplication sign, and there is the thing, and I don't want to solve this question in terms of like multiplication by juxtaposition or implicit multiplication, but this thing explains us a lot, because multiplication by juxtaposition or implicit multiplication is what you use when you multiply to thing without putting a times symbol. So when you don't have a times symbol between values, between parentheses, it means that you have right here a dot, which means multiplication, or you can easily leave it like that. So this means that between this stuff you have multiplication. And I meant before that I'm talking about multiplication by juxtaposition. In this case we are talking about PEMDAS, so I'm not talking right now about multiplication by juxtaposition, but I will spend 30 seconds in the end of the video and I will show you what it means multiplication by juxtaposition. juxtaposition, okay? Because right now I'm talking to PEMDAS, so we can actually get rid of these parentheses, okay? So we can actually get rid of it. So let me just cancel this parenthesis. So we can actually get rid of these parentheses. And our next step is to evaluate multiplication and division mixture. So let's do this right now. So we have 2 plus 2 divided by 2. We have multiplication because this is like looks like implicit multiplication, but the main rule is the next one. When you don't have like a sign between values, between constant, it means that you have times symbol. So we have times and we have 2 without parentheses. I'm talking about the basic order of operation. Of course, in terms of implicit multiplication, we have a completely different answer, but I'm talking right now about PEMDAS order of operation, which is like the most popular order of operation, and I think that 95% of students use this PEMDAS order of operation, and I'm not talking about PEMDAS order of operation, okay? So according to PEMDAS, we actually can actually get rid of this parenthesis, and we are talking about multiplication right here. Okay, so after exponents, as I told before, we need to simplify this expression with multiplication division sign. Let's find where do we have this multiplication division sign. We have division sign right here, and we have multiplication sign right here. And as I told before, the main rule is the next one. So you need to, so whenever you have a problem that had a mixture of multiplication and division, you need to perform it in a strict order from left to right. And in this case, don't mean that you need to perform multiplication first, because m is comes first from left to right. We have a mixture of multiplication and division, so we need to perform it in a strict order from left to right. So let's put imaginary brackets real quick, just in our head. So we need to divide it first, 2 divided by 2, so we have 2 plus, so let me change my pen real quick, maybe green is not the good. So we have right here 2 plus 2 divided by 2 equal to 1, and we have times 2. So we need to complete this group, we need to complete this multiplication division group. So right now let's multiply 1 times 2, which is equal to 2. So we have 2 plus 2 plus 2 equal to 4, and it looks like this is our answer according to PEMDAS. But as I told before, I mentioned about multiplication by juxtaposition. So just keep in mind that 4 is a correct answer. Okay, just keep in mind that 4 is a correct answer. And right now, let's go back in the beginning, because in the beginning we said yeah, we have 4 is a correct answer. But here is the tricky moment. It happens sometimes in math, when you solve this question in a wrong order, you can get a correct answer, and this is exactly our case, because this is completely wrong order, as I told before. So let me just erase all of this stuff, because this is a very this is the awful order of operation. Yeah, let me just erase all of this stuff, because in the beginning with that I said, okay, addition first, which is wrong, division second is absolutely wrong, and parenthesis third is absolutely wrong. So you can see this is completely wrong order of operation, but somehow we can get a correct answer. So correct answer is 4, but we solved it according to a wrong order of operation. So I want to summarize all of this stuff real quick. So I want to summarize this stuff real quick. So let me just erase all of this stuff. So first of all, we have a complicated expression. In terms of PEMDAS, the first thing is to evaluate the expression inside parentheses. This is our first step. The second step, we will have like division multiplication mixture. So the second step, we need to perform it in a strict order from left to right. So this is our second step. And the third step is to multiply. Right here we have multiplication. This is our third step. And the fourth step is addition. So if according to this order, correct answer in our case will be 4. And you can easily be proud of yourself that you solved this question, like that. And I hope you understand this quick explanation. But right now I want to mention one really important moment, because a lot of students say, okay, right here we have multiplication by juxtaposition, so we need to divide these 2 by the whole product on the right side. So it means that you can divide these 2 by the whole product on the right side. So something like that, you divide these 2 by the whole product, so by 2 and 1 plus 1. Okay, so it means that multiplication by juxtaposition tells us that you need to divide these 2 by the whole product on the right side. And here is the key moment. If PEMDAS, so if implicit multiplication is used, okay, I'm talking about this thing, I'm talking about PEMDAS, where J had the higher priority than M and D, so we are talking about multiplication by juxtaposition had the higher priority, so it means that in previous case we should multiply it first, Okay, and I'm talking about this thing which is called PEGMDAS. So if PEGMDAS is mentioned, it might be a local or informal adaptation with a specific context. So there are a lot of calculators which use PEGMDAS order of operation. There are a lot of the thing which is used calculators which used PEGMDAS order of operation, and sometimes you know, PEGMDAS we can use for information technology or computer engineering. So PEGMDAS is not a main order of operation, just like a special case, and in 95% you don't need this PEGMDAS order of operation. But here's a few hints for you, okay? So if you wanna to divide these two by the whole product on the right side, you can use two interpretations. The first variation, you can use vertical orientation. You can easily use like that, 2 divided by 2 and in parentheses 1 plus 1. You can easily we can easily use this fraction bar, okay, which is extremely important. Or the second interpretation, you need to use parentheses. So as a result, this is our second interpretation, so you can easily use parentheses. So 2 divided by, so just mention that you wanted to divide it by the whole product on the right side. And without any difficulties with PEGMDAS, you can easily use both of these interpretation, and everything will be great. So the main rule, just try to be unambiguous about what you're trying to present. If you wanted to divide these two by the whole product on the right side, so you need to put you need to use this orientation. You need to use vertical orientation with the fraction bar, or you need to put parentheses. Okay, but this is like a special case. Okay, PEGMDAS is like a special case. People mainly use PEGMDAS for information technology, for computer engineering. When you need it, you can easily use this stuff. But when you use PEMDAS and you're trying to express that you divide these two by the whole product on the right side, you need to use only these two orientation, because according to this expression, what we have right here, exactly this expression, correct answer is 4. Okay, we are talking about parentheses. In 99% of cases, people use parentheses, and this is like our two special cases. So you can easily look at it, you can easily use it, and just try to be unambiguous about what you're trying to present. So when you choose this option C, and when you choose this option A, well, you need to review a little bit your basic math, which is not good for you, because we are talking about basic stuff. Just agree with me, this is very easy expression, not complicated thing. We can easily solve this question in a few seconds. So here's my 2 hints about PEGMDAS. So we are talking about PEGMDAS tricks right here. So when you wanted to PEGMDAS, yeah, we have right here PEGMDAS tricks right here, so you can easily use both orientation just to express it in terms of like PEGMDAS. Okay, and we're talking about PEMDAS. You can easily see this full solution to this PEMDAS according to PEMDAS order of operation. Parentheses first, division second, multiplication third from left to right, and the last step is addition. So the correct answer in our case is 4. Here is full solution to this question according to PEMDAS, and here's like few tricks about it, because maybe you will argue about this implicit multiplication. Here are 2 hints for you. If you want to mention that you want to divide it by the whole product on the right side, you need to use both two orientation, which helps you a lot, vertical orientation or these parentheses. Just try to be unambiguous about what you're trying to present. In our case, correct answer is 4, basic PEMDAS order of operation, and the correct answer is 4. When you want to solve it according to PEGMDAS, well, you will have a completely different answer. And of course, if you wanted to use PEMDAS, but you need to remember about PEGMDAS, you need to use this both orientation, which is extremely important orientation in terms of math, because we have to try to be unambiguous about what we're trying to present. Okay, so it was my quick explanation about this question, and here's a few hints, because maybe you will plug in this question in your calculator, you know, and when you plug in this question in your calculator, here's like a few thoughts about it, the final thought, because you know, when you plug in, for example, 2 plus 2 in your calculator, and you know, some of those calculators work with problem as you type it in. So for example, you plug in this 2 plus 2, and you know, sometimes calculators say, okay, right here we have 4, and then you make division, you make parentheses, and you will get a wrong answer. 100% you will get it. So try to plug in the whole entire problem. So from left side, the whole entire problem from left side to right side. And then your calculator is smart enough to know about order of operation. Your calculator is like, okay, I have parentheses, I have division, I have multiplication, I have addition, so I know everything about it. So I can easily solve this question according to a correct order of operation. So it was my explanation about it. I really hope your answer is 4. If your answer is 2 or 6, well, you need to review a little bit your basic math, but it's not bad. You need to learn a little bit about PEMDAS or BODMAS. It just depending on what country you live in, because BODMAS is mainly used in the UK and India, and PEMDAS mainly used in Europe and the USA. So it just depending on what country you're in. But the order of operation for parentheses, for all exponents, parentheses, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction is absolutely the same for 95% of orders of operation. Okay, so it was my quick explanation about this question. I really hope you understand it. I really hope you learned something new, but definitely don't feel bad if you got this wrong. If you need help with any of these classes, I have a lot of questions on my YouTube channel, like quick and basic things, basic algebra. It's not like complicated thing with integral or whatever. Yeah, we are talking about basic thing, and you can easily you chill with me. You can easily solve this question with me, which is extremely great to relax a little bit with basic math, which is extremely important nowadays. So thank you Aaron for your time. Wish you all the best in your life. You can also write your response down into the comment section. It will be really interesting to read about it. Thank you Aaron for watching, for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. It inspires me a lot. It helps me a lot to make new content every day. And if this video is helpful in any way, don't forget to like and subscribe, and that definitely helped me out now for this particular video. So wish you all the best in your life. Have a great day and take care of yourself.